Hello everyone, this is Shabnam here. Welcome back to my channel, The Counseling Corner. In my previous video, I have spoken about few signs by which you can identify that you're not very happy in your marriage and how you can go about it. In today's video, I am going to speak about few things which you as couple need to avoid in case you want to have a happy and successful married life. Marriage is actually a union between two people wherein they commit emotionally, physically, as well as they commit their soul to each other and will always be there for each other till the end. And it is the most intimate and special relationship between two people compared to any other relationship. For example, if you take your parents will one day grow old and they will leave you, as well as your children will grow and they'll become independent and they will get busy in their life, but it is only your partner who will always be there till the end if your marriage is lasting and if it is successful. But unfortunately, many people are not realizing that and they are running after temporary priorities and they are losing on the main relationship with their partner only to regret later. So in today's video, I am going to talk about few things which you need to avoid as partners. The first and foremost thing is that you need to avoid the 4 C's in your married life, which is like a cancer and which is very infectious and which will eat your relationship. They are comparing, criticizing, complaining and trying to control your partner. Comparing, you should never try comparing your partner with someone else's partner. But this is because something which is very common in most of the couples. I have come across men who compare their wife either with the sibling or with the mother or sometimes with some other lady telling she cooks so well, right? Or she's very pretty, or telling some other lady is highly qualified. The same way I have come across women also comparing their husbands either with their siblings' husband or neighbor's husband or anyone, telling she is so lucky her husband takes her for foreign trips, or no, he buys so much of expensive gifts for her. So I don't think any one of us like being compared to anyone. So try avoiding comparing your partner with anyone else. Second is complaining. If you keep on complaining and cribbing for every small thing, then that will make your partner get irritated or frustrated. For example, when your husband comes home, maybe he's tired after the office, you need to welcome him with a smile and ensure that you provide a congenial or peaceful home environment. But if you immediately start complaining and cribbing because you're frustrated either with the behavior of the kids or you're angry with his parents, then he will lose his peace of mind and then he will not feel like coming home. So avoid complaining. Third point is, the third thing C is the criticizing. So try avoiding criticizing, or try in conflicts using words like you're always like that or you will never change. Right? You need to accept the person as he is with his strength or with his weakness. So you should always try to see the positive things in your spouse. If you see the positive in your spouse, then you would be happy. But if you always try seeing some bad things or negative things in your spouse, then you will never be happy. So you try avoiding criticizing. Sometimes what happens is that if your spouse has hurt you earlier, then you never try, you're not able to forget that hurt, and then you try recalling and bringing that again and again, and trying to hurt your spouse or making him feel guilty. So by doing that, you're only taking away, and you're straining your relationship with your spouse. The last C is trying to control your spouse. You need to give some space, right? What he or she has to do, what they don't have to do. You need not keep dictating everyone because this makes them get frustrated. For example, in some couples, what happens is that after a couple of years of marriage, either one couple starts developing a feeling of inadequacy or feeling of jealousy when the other couple is performing well in the career or whatever reason it might be, and then they start controlling them, which again leads to a lot of stress and strain in their relationship. So these 4 C's have to be eliminated from your life. The next thing is that you need to avoid taking a partner for granted. Usually what happens is that what I have come across is that, see, when you're in a relationship or before marriage, then each one shows a lot of love and affection on the other. Like, they never forget their birthday or some special days. They give them a lot of gifts, spend a lot of time. So you make them your priority. But once they get married, then they said, we're already married, and one partner takes the other partner for granted. I know a couple who were in love and they got married. But after getting married, the husband became very busy with his, and he was traveling a lot. He became very busy focusing on his business, and he started avoiding his wife. And she was always upset about it. And she used to talk about this to to their common friend who used to advise the husband. But he took her for granted. He said, I know about her. She loves me so much. She will die, but she will never leave me. But what happened is that she was not getting her emotional needs fulfilled. So she got involved with some other guy working in the office, and she eventually decided to take a separation, which he could not take up. He could not digest that, and he ended his life. So you should never take a partner for granted. The next thing is that, which is very important, is avoid giving promises. So you need to give a promise only if you're 100% sure that you'll be able to keep your promise. But sometimes when a partner is so very happy and excited, he gives so many promises, but for some reason or other, he is not able to keep up the promise, and then the other partner feels cheated. As well as, you need to avoid telling lies to your partner. See, you need to be very transparent, like where you're going, what you're doing, like where you're investing or any business you're doing. You need to be very open, and you need to discuss with your partner. Try avoiding things from them, because if you start telling lies and if you start avoiding, then that will lead to suspicion and doubt, which will lead to a lot of problems in your marriage. Trust me, to hide one lie, you will have to speak 100 lies, and eventually one day you will get caught and your partner will lose trust in you. Then even if you tell the truth, then the partner will not be able to trust you. Avoid talking negative about your partner or teasing him or putting him or her down in the presence of your friends or the family members. It is very common to have conflicts and small arguments between the partners. But when you have some misunderstanding or some conflicts, please ensure that you sit together over the table, discuss and sort it out, and keep it personal. Avoid involving a third person, whether your family member or your friend, into the conflict, because it will become even more worse. For example, if you talk about your issues or conflict to one of your friend who is having a very unhappy marriage, she might instigate you and make the problem worse. Next thing is that when a partner is very angry due to some reasons, maybe he has some problem, bad day at the workplace, or due to some other crisis, if he's in a bad mood, to avoid arguing or talking back, right, to the partner at that point of time. Because see, for example, if the water is hot and you mix hot water with it, what will happen? It will become hot. But if the hot water is hot and you mix cold water with it, then it becomes cool. So at that point of the time, have empathetic feeling towards your partner and allow him to cool down, him or her to cool down. And once they are calm, you can go speak to them, very politely, or with show patience, and try to understand what is the root cause or what is bothering your partner, and try to help your partner to sort out the issue. Another thing which is very, very important is that when you have a conflict or fight, you should avoid using the D word, that is the word divorce, or talking about separation. Because if you keep on repeatedly talking about this, eventually one day it will happen. As well as it will have a very negative impact on the emotional health of your children, because they start developing an insecure feeling. It is very, very important for a partner to listen when the other partner is trying to convey something, maybe problems or some about the feelings or any other thing. Don't avoid being on the social media or being on the chatting with someone or texting someone when your partner is trying to talk to you. It is always better that you maintain eye contact with your partner and try to understand what he or she is trying to tell you. This will make your partner feel, yes, my views and my opinions and my feelings are valued and respected, and this will increase the bond. It is very, very important for you to go tech free in two places. One is when you're having your meals, wherein you can discuss many things, and the second thing, the place is your bedroom. So avoid texting or messaging or chatting when you're in these two places. So these are few things which you need to keep in mind and you need to follow in if you want to have a happy and successful married life. I have come across a lot of cases where people decide to go in for separation due to various reasons. In one of the case, a man had to say he was an extreme. He wanted everything spick and span, everything organized in its place. But he said his wife, is very haphazard. She throws things here and there. Her clothes are hanging in the washroom and on the bed. So he said, 5 years I have put up with this, and because of this we continuously have conflict. So I prefer to go in for a separation. There was another case where the man had to say his wife is very unclean. She does not have bath for 2 to 3 days and she starts stinking, and he said, I can't live with her anymore. It's enough. So there are various reasons why there is a conflict, and and these are small reasons. For every problem there is a solution, right? They can just sit and talk and discuss and sort it out. So it becomes very, very essential for partners to have a deep understanding about each other. For example, like what annoys or irritates a partner and what are the things which makes a partner happy. So they can just behave accordingly. Right? After marriage is after all a compromise. So you need to let go little small things you have to let go, and you need to adjust to that. Don't try to change your partner. It is very, very difficult. You will be disappointed. But instead you need to try to change yourself. The reasons why mostly I have seen conflict between the partners is that one is the finance. Suppose if if the partner has inherited some property from his parents, I think the other partner does not have the right to force the partner or to give instructions whether to sell it or what to do with the property or interfere with the property, right? But in case if only the one partner is earning, then it is very obvious that that partner will take care of the expenditure. But in case both the partners are earning, then both the partners have to contribute for the expenditure. But in some cases I have seen the one partner is very selfish and he or she wants to save all that money which he earns, and he expects the other partner to take care of all the expenditure, and this leads to conflict. The other reason which I have seen is raising the children. For this there is a different views they have, different opinions, and there is a conflict between them. And sometimes when the child misbehaves or does something wrong, they start blaming each other. So the children also are the responsibility of both the parents. So what they can do is that the couples can sit together, they can discuss, they can come to a conclusion and then implement whatever they want to decide on. As well as household work, that both the partners are working, then it becomes the duty of the husband also to contribute in the household chores. You all can just distribute your roles and responsibilities, decide beforehand what you all are going to do. For example, in the morning when the wife is very busy cooking and preparing the lunch box, the husband can help get the children ready. So it is a little adjustment and compromise, right, that will contribute to a happy and a successful married life. So these are the few things which you as couple need to avoid doing to ensure that you have a happy and successful married life.